everyone, and welcome to the newest edition of The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on all things IPW. I'm the voice of IPW J-Rod. As promised, Road to Glory began with the first meeting between Fate of 8 tournament champion Terry Van Avery and IPW champion Jamal King. King questioned whether Van Avery was ready for this, and Van Avery questioned whether King would go as far as he would to win the match. King and Van Avery voiced their respect for each other, but you could cut the tension with a butter knife. Just as it looked like things might get physical, they were interrupted by Jeremiah Goldmain and his client Mongo. Goldmain let it be known that he arranged a title match in our main event of Road to Glory for Mongo, as Mongo has never been beaten in singles action in IPW since debuting way back in 2019. As King accepted the challenge, Derek Wolf made his way to the ring to confront Terry Van Avery. Wolf pinned Terry Van Avery in the Fate of 8 finals, but after counting the pin, the referee noticed Van Avery's foot on the rope and reversed his decision, leaving an opening for Van Avery to super kick his way to winning the tournament. Wolf believed it should be him going to war on the shore instead. Van Avery challenged Wolf to a match, even allowing Wolf to use his trusty iPad during the match and put his title shot on the line. Jeremiah Goldmain put things into perspective that we may just end up with Mongo versus Derek Wolf for the IPW Championship at War on the Shore instead. In the first match, Michiana champion Bendrick Bison dressed down the IPW fans and the roster. Bison has been on a tear, never losing a single match in IPW. Bison called out anyone, particularly someone he hasn't faced yet, to meet him in the ring. The IPW fans were thrilled to see a returning old-timer, Jeff King, a man who hasn't been seen in IPW in over a year. Jeff King brought a unique style that Bendrick Bison hadn't seen before, but the outcome was no different. And still, your Michiana champion, Bendrick Bison. Match number 2 saw the Forgotten Max Morrison versus Real Hype's Mondo Real. A good clean match was once again spoiled as Big Jorge provided yet another distraction that caused Mondo Real to lose yet another match. The threat of Real Hype coming back after the tag team titles has got Jorge doing everything he can to keep Real Hype out of title contention. As for Max Morrison's victory, he argues that a victory over former IPW Tag Team Champion Mondo Real should put he and Jeremiah Nazareth in the running for his shot at the tag team titles. A pretty convincing argument.
You know what? Now that you're standing here, I'm going to tell you one thing. I hear everything everybody's been saying about me, that I kissed Jeremiah's feet, that I kissed his ass. Well, you know what? I kissed the ass of a man who saved me. And tonight, I went out there and I beat Mondo. I beat one half of the former tag team champions, and I think that deserves us a title shot. I think that would make Jeremiah very happy, because you know what? When he comes back to IPW, I'm going to give him everything that he deserves. Cross my heart, hope to die.
Our third match saw the Dark Gentleman going toe-to-toe with Dre Jacobs. Despite being outweighed by over 100 pounds, the Dark Gentleman took no shortcuts. TDG, as the fans are calling him, did not shy away from a good old-fashioned fistfight with Dre Jacobs. There was a moment where Jacobs locked up a very tight bear hug, and the match was all but finished. TDG made good on his promise to never tap out and fought his way out of the hold. It would only take one window of opportunity for TDG to ascend to the top rope and hit a beautiful flying attack to pick up the biggest win of his career. Following the match, we caught up with the Dark Gentleman.
Yeah, come on up. I'm here with the Dark Gentleman. Come on up. So the Dark Gentleman tonight, you can see your ribs are still a little bit sore tonight. Now tonight, you took on Dre Jacobs and won. How were you able to withstand that bear hug? Like anybody else would have just tapped right out, but you got through it. How did that happen?
The Dark Gentleman has arrived here at IPW, and I didn't arrive, I didn't get this far to only come this far. I faced everybody. I faced the best they put me up against. I faced the Nazareth. I faced everybody. I faced every champion you guys have had. I faced the tag champions you guys have had. I've faced them all, and I've damn near beaten them all. You saw the match against Jamal King. You saw I was this close to getting a victory, and if I would have tapped in, I would have embarrassed myself and everybody that's ever supported me. And if I would have tapped now, it would have been no different. I'm not going to tap to Jamal. I'm not going to tap to Dre. I'm not tapping. I'm not giving up on anybody. The Dark Gentleman isn't giving up until I get the one thing that I wanted. I came here, my first match here, was for that Michiana championship. Nazareth stole that from me. I have fought my way through the Forgotten. I have fought my way to Jamal King. I fought my way through Jay Jacobs. And I'll fight everybody and anybody until I get the one thing that I want. And Benjamin Bison, you have impressed me. You have beaten me. You have broken everybody that's come before you, but you haven't broken me. Nobody's broken me. Nobody can break me. When I finally get my hands on you, I'll finally get my hands on that championship. I'll see you. I'll see everybody else very soon. Thank you.
There you have it, the Dark Gentleman looking to make an impact here in IPW.
With the recent incarceration of his tag team partner, Otto Spencer, Big Jorge had to face his mandatory tag team title defense on his own, or find a last-minute partner. Jorge stumbled upon Felix Morio, who just recently registered as a tag team partner of Casey Tempest, and all but forced Felix to team with him instead. LaDon Sanders and Marco Modelo finally got to debut as a tag team, calling themselves the Love Shack, and battled it out for the tag team titles. A well-timed distraction from Real Hype was the perfect dose of revenge needed to take Big Jorge out of his game. Modelo and Sanders capitalized, and in their first outing as a tag team, picked up the IPW Tag Team Championships. Following the match, Big Jorge blamed everything on Felix Morio, then took his frustrations out on Morio. At the conclusion of Road to Glory, Real Hype said they'll be going after the tag team titles once again.
You know, Mondo, the tag team division here in IPW, just a few months back before we won the tag titles, you know, it was solid, but it wasn't amazing.
No.
When we beat the Cream Team, we took those belts, and man, oh man, what happened after that?
We took them belts.
We took them. All kinds of new tag teams started popping up here in IPW.
Yeah, we got freaking non-cons. We got Young Cream. We got Love Shack.
Yeah,
we got the
tag team.
Gold Team. It's been building and building.
Felix and KC, man, all these tag teams here. You know what I'll tell you, Mondo? I feel like we're the ones who started this fire. This tag team division here in IPW really lit it up, man. And on this fire, I don't want to be a burnt-out log at the bottom.
No.
I want to be the flame at the top, man.
Hell yeah.
So I think it's time. I think we get our tag team titles back. And I know Tuna and Cons we were looking forward to keeping the shit out of. They don't have the belts anymore. Love Shack are good dudes, man.
Yeah. You know, I like them a lot, but...
So I think we're gonna put out a challenge. Any building, any arena.
Any boat?
I like how you think.
Derek Wolf would be up next with the opportunity to end his losing streak and pick up a shot at the IPW title on the top of the bill at War on the Shore, all in the same match. His opponent, Terry Van Avery, came out with a fire in his eyes and went right after Wolf. The iPad made an immediate appearance, but to Wolf's detriment, it was immediately kicked into Wolf's face. Then Terry followed up with not one, but two more super kicks to finish Derek Wolf off in under 30 seconds. Terry Van Avery is firing on all cylinders. He has clearly hit his stride, and he will be bringing his best to War on the Shore July 1st. Rory Shield and Stella Vujo have both been looking for a chance to get in there once again with IPW Women's Champion Randy West. In order to get the shot, these two would have to fight it out to be the #1 contender to face Randy at War on the Shore. A good back-and-forth match saw a cheap roll-up with a handful of ties from Rory Shield to pick up the win and the big opportunity to challenge Randy West once again at IPW's biggest stage. In our main event, Mongo would finally get his shot at a singles championship in IPW. He would be facing the undisputed IPW champion, the Supreme Jamal King. This match was as hard-hitting as they come, and Mongo proved why he's been undefeated for all these years. But by the same token, Jamal King proved why he's the IPW champion. Mongo inadvertently knocked out referee Gary, then used the chain and antlers from his entrance gear as a weapon and tried to pin King. Referee Chris made his way to the ring to count the pin, but Jamal King kicked out. A frustrated Mongo then intentionally wiped out referee Chris. Mongo went to the top rope to set up a high-risk maneuver, and it did not pay off, as Jamal King was able to catch Mongo with a huge slam just as referee Gary had gathered his bearings. And it was enough for a 3 count. Sore losers Jeremiah Goldman and Anderson Knight immediately ambushed Jamal King after the pinfall, and the fans erupted as Terry Van Avery came to King's rescue. Van Avery knocked Anderson Knight out of the ring. Then King and Van Avery both hit their trademark moves on Jeremiah Goldmane. After the Gold team scattered, Terry looked like he was measuring Jamal King for a sneak attack. Instead, Terry handed King his championship belt, then raised King's hand. The level of mutual respect being shown here can only mean that these two are taking each other very seriously, and we expect a match for the ages in the main event of War on the Shore 3. That concludes this edition of The Insider. On Saturday, June 17th at Gull Lake Motors in Richland, Michigan, IPW presents its first ever Patreon exclusive event. The only way to see this event is to subscribe to our Patreon or to be in attendance as IPW presents Overkill.